Women and Non-Binary Students Officer. Women and non-binary students officers have driven campus events and created change to benefit the lives of women and non-binary students. Through events, campaigns and lobbying, the officers represent self-defining women and non-binary people on campus. They also lead the Women and Non-Binary Students Network, which is supported by a committee.
I'm joined this evening by Imogen Horrocks and Rebecca Rice-Thomas, who are running together for the position of Women and Non-Binary Officers. Would you two like to run down your main manifesto points for me, please?
Yes, certainly. So the three main manifesto points we have are take an intersectional and inclusive approach to the running of our network, prioritise sexual violence prevention on campus, and advocate for sex and relationship positivity and sexual health, particularly for women and non-binary people.
That's wonderful. So you're saying you're taking an intersectional approach. Can you dig into that a bit deeper for me, please?
So we were hoping to change the name of the network to the Gender Liberation Network. This is so that women and non-binary people's experiences aren't conflated. And we were hoping to address men's issues in more detail as well, because we feel like they've been left out of the conversation so far. So, for example, tackling men's mental health, particularly at university.
And how would you go about helping with mental health issues, both with men and women and non-binary?
So we're hoping to work with other societies that tackle this issue. So, for example, Movember, and we were hoping to work with the male sports teams and any other male-dominated societies to just advocate for the resources.
And moving on to your second point, prioritising sexual violence prevention on campus, what's your main way that you're going to do this?
So there are some fantastic resources already out there provided by the university. However, we feel that strongly that they can be improved. There's some fantastic campaigns already running at York, including the Last Taboo campaign and the Red Flag campaign. And I think for us, it's working with those types of campaigns and creating a much wider conversation where students feel like they're being listened to, both by the Students' Union and the university, and we hope to help facilitate that conversation.
And you're advocating for sex and relationship positivity. How are you doing that?
Again, there's some absolutely fantastic societies at the University of York, societies like Sexpression and FETSOC. They all have wonderful resources, and I think, again, it's about partnering with those societies and creating a wider conversation that is inclusive and sensitive to women's issues and non-binary people's student issues, whilst also keeping the conversation very open and engaging. And I think the most important thing is providing a safe platform for those conversations to be had. And
what's your kind of plan for putting all these brilliant, wonderful things that you want to do in place? Like, how are you going to go about it?
So for our second point, sexual violence prevention, we're hoping to create an anti-spiking campaign. This would be with the UC bars and potentially with other nightlife in York. So yeah, we feel this is an issue that hasn't been addressed whatsoever in York at all, even though statistically York is quite bad for spiking.
And have you looked into how much a campaign like that might cost and how you would get the funding for that?
It's something we're hoping to look into if we get elected.
And in terms of changing the name of the role and this, presumably and the network, how have you discussed that with anybody in, the people who are in charge of that?
So we've had conversations. Rebecca is heavily involved within the Women and Non-Binary Network already, and I've been attending the meetings, and that's something that we've discussed. It's something that we're looking to lobby further within UC to change, and I think it's a really important thing to change to make sure that it is a really inclusive place.
That is all we've got time for. Thank you ever so much, you two. I'm going to pass over now to Sarah Veal for the next interview.
Social Sciences Faculty Representative.